Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on Incandescent Remake and let's have a look at the map. So Incandescence has a few interesting things. It's mainly made as a 3v3 or 4v4 map with potential of going up to 5v5. The start position here can be seen. There are plenty of geos around the start positions with 4 in total. The most furthest back position, generally classed as the air spot if you have a big enough team. The low ground positions generally all work together here and try to push to the other side of the map and contest the many metal points throughout. The side lane, however, tends to be more of a one-on-one situation. So it is one of the hardest lanes to deal with. It has the most verticality when it comes to this map, as this area is very, very high compared to the rest. Main features of the map, of course, are the raised section at the top, as well as plenty of hills and cliffs in the center that make radar vision pretty difficult to manage. That's all when it comes to the map. Let's jump straight into the game. So here we go. Some interesting players in this match today. In the red team, we have Holander as Armada. In red, we have Domino, we've seen on the channel before, I believe. And finally, C3BO in this hillside position. And their opponents today are Skag, playing Armada. No Wind 8D, apparently, playing Cortex there. And in the club, finally, playing Armada bots along the bottom. Now, this is a interesting map choice for a 3v3. You can often see it in a 4v4 as well, where you see someone positioned at the back, but it kind of works out as like a 1v1 in essence, because it's Skag versus C3, Domino versus 8D, and then Holander versus In the Club. The top lane acts like a 1v1, but the bottom lane kind of acts like a 2v2. So even though it's a 3v3, the top lane is like completely separate. So we'll see how that works out. Domino going vehicles here, obviously a bit slow to get units out, and in the club completely walking past Domino's base here, which would have been a prime opportunity. Because Domino gets a Janus out first, which is a very interesting choice. Holander with very few units gets a scout off. For some reason, every time I click on something, my mouse disappears as well, which is very annoying. A defensive LLT is enough to stop that. And he doesn't really have to worry about it. This grunt is probably just going to go around the back, sit back here, and then not really worried about it. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually goes all the way down here, sits really far out of the way, and then waits like 10 minutes. And then like 10 minutes time, he'll just pop up, kill the 2 mexes that are there, then pop back down again. And it'll be like, what happened to that mech? AD in a very sneaky position here. Gets a lot of stuff down low enough so that it chains. Does not manage to kill the metal extractor though, with a single 1 HP health left. But enough damage to make it a problem. All of the aggression has been towards the red team so far. And both players in the center just kind of taking their time now, walking across. Januses are going to make very short work of thugs. AD is going to struggle to push into them with thugs. And not only that, but enough Januses is going to be enough to pretty much kill his commander. Centurions coming out as well will provide a good defensive position. Meanwhile, on the top, we see C3 actually invest into a lot of, well, a Centurion, both actually, Skag and C3. C3 microing the Centurion here. Skag does shut down the metal extractor, but does put in his position in a bit of a commander in a weird position. Is C3 just going to go straight in on this? No, it seems not. No LLTs built by either player here. Meanwhile, at the bottom, Domino almost catches 8D's commander out with the Janisses by the looks of it. Domino continuing to push, gets very close to this base. Energy being sent to Domino here in order to degun stuff. The LLT will not be able to shoot if he continues round this path. Domino looks like he is just going to trade comms here.
Died.
And he's going to degun the factory, desperately asking his team for energy. Great degun there, managed to get both the LLT and the factory. And that is 8D with nothing left now at all. Question is, where is Domino going to go now? He decides to go around here and take out this base as well. That's pretty much going to be the blue team out of it. Although, if he is able to die in green territory, it will prove difficult for them to defend. Enough Janisses here may be able to insta-pop the commander. And that is seeming to be what Domino's plan is. Domino seems to have managed to escape with 90 health, 2% health. Meanwhile, at the top, we did miss. Both commanders get killed as they hugged each other to death. Does seem that C3 got most of the metal, though. And now both teams have 2 commanders left. Holander in a pretty healthy state. So is Club. But both 8D and Domino here are pretty low health. And surprisingly enough, both of them almost in the back, the exact same bad state. Club has got some good raiding. Managed to kill a couple of metal extractors, has set back Domino a bit more, but Skag looking in a very dangerous position up here. He's already lost a lot of metal. Centurion's doing a good job at pretty much stopping Skag from doing much. Also securing the 2 metal points at the top there is, and this one here, is going to give C3 a lot more metal, and you can see just how much build power he's got on his factory right now. Club does seem like he's trying to make some holes here, as he does manage to get past Holander. Where is he going though? If he's going straight into Red's base, he will help 8D out tremendously, which 8D needs, as Janisses are just proving too much for him. But Domino doesn't really have many units left. And that is starting to become a problem, as he's actually switched out of Janisses into Whistlers. And we can see that the pawns did manage to make it past. Splitting up, 2 going up here. They're going to get killed pretty much instantly. This guy will get a bit of damage. I think the con turret might just eat him up before he actually manages to kill the constructor or the con turret. Close, but no cigar. Bombers also now coming out from C3BO here. He has a very strong control over this top land, managing to secure the other half of the commander wreck in the center, but 8D has managed to push all the way up to Domino's base. 8D has managed to rebuild, and Domino will lose the base here. This is going to cause big problems for Holander, as Holander is basically going to be trapped in a bubble. But it looks like Domino and 8D may go to trade comms here. 8D doesn't really want to give it to him and is continuing to walk on. 8D just trying to keep out of range of Domino, and does manage to get out of the explosion range. But this is now going to cause some problems for Holander. As you can see, Holander is basically contained in a bubble here. Neither team has much in the way of energy production. Holander did lose a lot of his economy. Has not really rebuilt at all yet. Running off of a single metal extractor in the base. In the club is doing a good job at defending here. Plenty of LLTs and Centurions doing good work. Bombers are attempting to come over here now to put some damage on in the club, but he's bombing where he thought there was a lot, but realistically, there's not that much. Yeah, he gets some E damage, but not really that much. 8D has secured all of the metal, or will be securing all of the metal in the base here. And this is where C3 really needs to crank it up a gear and make the most of his advantage. And support his team, because the middle has fallen to the power of 8D. 8D now building a very, very forward vehicle lab here in an attempt to pressure Holander into dying. Holander now having to defend pretty much the entire circumference of his base. And meanwhile, C3 is just happy to just sit back here. I'm just going to sit here, it's fine. C3 is trying to build up more economy and has gone on vehicles and bots. And air. Air transport coming in with a single rocket bot for some reason. This bomber has pretty much shut down Skag's economy, though. The Skag is now in the Dark Ages. There should be enough force here to finally push through and take Skag out the fight. Domino has been pretty much knocked out. He's been gifted units by C3 here in an attempt to keep the micro of him busy. This won't get his base back in the game or the economy, but it will help, you know, control some of the front. A air transport with nothing in, just flying around the map. Blue team do need to be aware of Skag basically falling. Skag has completely stopped producing units as well. Self-destructing everything. Surprising. Denying reclaim. And now that does open a big hole. It kind of would have been, I don't know. Part of me gets like, it would have been better maybe to keep this, because it keeps some time before they just walk down the hill. But at the same time, you don't want to let them have a reclaim, and that would have been a large amount of reclaim. 8D in a very strong position at the front. There's still a lot of reclaim to be had nearby, but unable to really shut down Holander's base now that C3 has been able to push a ridiculous amount of units down the hill. At the same time, denying some reclaim here. But, you know, C3's not going to have vision here, so he's going to run into LLTs and he's going to start taking attrition from those LLTs. In the club, in a very strong position, is happy to quite send a bunch of units to deal with that, but there's still that hole that is going to have to be dealt with. And C3 has not had much damage dealt to him in a while. In the club kind of needs to make a hole through here. And it seems that In the club is planning to just go straight for the commander. But I love how there's just an AA bot. Oh, that's green. Okay, never mind. I was about to say that's that. Just an enemy AA bot just sat in his base, but no. Going for gunships, it seems. For some reason, a large amount of air transports also being built here. 8D's commander in a dangerous position. Janus hit lands. He has to get around the hill. 8D cloaks doesn't have the energy to keep walking on his cloak. Stop moving. 8D gonna go and attempt to hug Holander in an attempt to end the match. Forgets he's got the last comm. C3 telling him, dude, be careful. 8D needs to kind of stop moving with his cloak. V-Gun's able to keep the units at bay, but a Janus rocket gets 8D. And now, one com, Indie Club versus Holander. And C3 has done a great job at keeping the red team in the game. This forward factory has been completely wiped out, and Holander has managed to secure it with the help of Domino's units. And this could still be anyone's match. Indie Club is winding up for a gunship snipe here, but it's taking quite a long time. And they're down to a single commander while this has been happening. They can't take back the hill now. There's too much defenses up here, and he needs to invest too much. But that basically frees this entire side for C3BO. Don't quite get why C3 has built 8 air transports. But, yeah, you know. Bunch of Centurions, and it looks like 8D is going to be the next target for Team Red. There's a big group of forces here. And here they go, going straight towards 8D. 8D needs to hold the line. Bear in mind, 8D does not have much left. Alright, gunships coming in. The scouts haven't gone in first. They don't know where the commander is. Hoping. Spotted, commander spotted. Scouts are there nearby, should be giving the radar dot as we select in the club's view. They can see the commander, they know it's there. Forces now pushing in. Holander trying to duck and dive, but does not have the energy to do it. 8% health. Trying to body block with units. Does not manage it. Holander, gets sniped by gunships. AA was not quick enough to react as the fighters started to approach. And that was a very, very good game. Well played. Both teams did tremendously well. You can see how the blue and red just didn't really hit it off at all. But, yeah, very, very good game. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to do all of the YouTube hype, comment, subscribe, like, rubbish. And I will see you all next time.